What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 55 of Coffee and Cloud Native. My name is Adrian Goins. Every night, I and my army of bots scour the internet for news and content related to Kubernetes and Cloud Native, and every day I come here to share the bits that I find interesting. I am so glad that you're able to join me here every day, every week, every month, every. This is a curated list of content. I go through around 200 submissions every night, and I select just a handful of them for the next day's show, although today it's actually 2 handfuls. These are the tools and the things that I would use, the things that I find interesting, and, well, sometimes it's just the stuff that I want to make fun of. We got a little bit of that going on today, too. If you're watching live on Twitch, please click the follow button for the channel. If you're watching in the future, please click the thumbs up button on the video so that the YouTube algorithm shares it with other people. Some of you who watch the replay on Twitch are probably confused why I talk about YouTube, and that's because after the show, I actually edit the video and post it to YouTube because, well, yeah, because. Anyway, where was I? Join the community site. There are links to that in the video description, and yeah. So live chat happens in Twitch, and then also in the live chat channel on Discord, and then there's a bot that relays between them. So come hang out with us either during the show or after the show. We have a lot of people in the chat today, and I'm operating solo today because WifeBot is on a trip to Santiago, but she's in the chat. She's actually being driven up there by a friend of mine who very graciously offered to take her so that I could do the show. So thank you, Leonardo. If you're listening, hello. But yeah, WifeBot's there as well. And who else do we have in the chat? We got Mose, Mike Lundquist, good morning. Frank, hello. Nuno, Ian, Vito, WifeBot. Oh, WifeBot's actually showing up as her real name, but she's still WifeBot. Ellie the bot, cool. Devin, nice to see you, sir. Good morning. So many people in the chat today. Thank you all for joining. I have so much stuff to talk about today that we got to get going. First of all, today is Giveaway Friday, and it's the first Giveaway Friday since we've moved entirely to Twitch. So we've currently got 15 people watching live. I have the little Twitch dashboard going on over there. Same rules apply. We got to hit 50 people watching, even if you're not in the chat. 50. Oh, I didn't set up the giveaway. Oh, hang on a second. Anyway, if you're watching live, that's cool. If you're in the chat, that's where the winning actually happens. But only if I set up the giveaway. LE giveaway. So we're going to do this live. What are we giving away? We are giving away Kubernetes Mastery, Hands-on Lessons from a Docker Captain, one of the most popular Kubernetes courses from Brett Fisher. LE giveaway, create. Okay, let's make a giveaway. We're gonna do this in the live chat channel. So that's the channel that you have to be in. We're gonna actually run this for 1 hour, but then we'll just end it early if we hit the right number of viewers. Okay, what should the prize be? Kubernetes Mastery course. And there should be 1 winner. Part of any other server. Oh, wow, that's new. Do users have to be part of any other server to enter? No. Okay, that's interesting. So allegedly now there's a giveaway in live chat. If you want to participate in the giveaway, just click that little emoji down there. I see y'all are clicking it. And I'll go ahead and pin this so that if you come into the chat later, you can just look at pinned messages and you will see it there. And then the last thing that I need to do is LE giveaway manage. Last time I wasn't able to, LE giveaways show. Wasn't able to end it. This is terrible. Okay. Giveaway ended. This one is going on in live chat. Okay, so now we're ready to end it if we hit 50 viewers on Twitch. Twitch is easy. Just go to twitch.tv/adrian.goins and click the play button. What more could you want? Yesterday, Twitter went down. And actually, if you were in the Discord server the night before, I think I saw this starting to happen. I was trying to tweet some stuff, and I was getting this thing that Twitter was over capacity. I posted an image of it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. We haven't seen the fail whale in quite a while. Well, the fail whale beached itself yesterday, and that's fine. I didn't really care. I didn't notice. I don't use Twitter all that much other than to post stuff about the show and to interact with those of you who also use Twitter. But what caught my attention this morning was this. This is from Twitter comms. The recent issue was caused by an inadvertent change we made to our internal systems. Whoever wrote that should not be working for Twitter comms. Let's break that down. The recent issue was caused by an inadvertent change we made. Well, that means that it's totally not your fault, right? That this change was totally unexpected and you made it without knowing that you did it. Whoever made that change should also be fired. Or what's the alternative? The issue was caused intentionally. No, probably also not what you meant to say. This brought up something that I really want to share with you. One of my dear and most loved websites on the internet, the bastard operator from hell excuse server. Twitter should be using this. Anytime that something happens and you need something that you can say, just go here, click refresh and say, the cause of the problem is that the lines are all busy. That one's not very good. The cause of the problem is that the root name servers are out of sync. These are probably only going to be funny if you were doing Unix system administration in any type of business or university environment in the 80s and 90s. All of you young pups today are probably like, what? One of my favorites is Mercury is in retrograde. The electrician didn't know what the yellow cable was, so he yanked the Ethernet out. It's a layer 8 problem, of course, or an ID10T problem. We'll have a link to this in the, in the video description. Actually, that's a lie. We'll have a link to this in the community site, because that's where links get posted. And sudo user on a sudo terminal. Manually tracking the satellite. So there you go. Thank you, Twitter. JVB works with me at Rancher. Well, actually, he doesn't work at Rancher. He works at Rancher Federal, which is a totally different organization. But he used to be a field engineer at Rancher before he moved over to Rancher Federal. And all this week, he's been live streaming on Twitch. He's actually the one who got me into Twitch. He's kind of like my Twitch consultant. But he started a new channel for himself and has been live streaming content from Gov Hack Week. So he's had some really impressive people on there. You can go back and look at the schedule. Is a little compressed. But you can go back and look. He had developers from Istio. He had the guys from Antria on, and really interesting content. And today, he has Chris Carty from, well, Chris, I'm not sure where Chris actually is right now. He used to be at, he used to be at an organization that I know he left. But he's coming on because he's part of the Kubernetes release team. And so they'll be on, it's actually 2 p.m. Eastern. This is showing it in my local time. But if you go to twitch.tv/hello, I'm JVB. Whoops. Oh my gosh. Twitch just became full screen. Holy cow, I clicked something I didn't mean to. The world is ending. Oh, hey, look at that. He's actually saying you can check out my stream when he's offline. Oh, it's like Inception. It doesn't show up there. That's good. Okay. We're gonna get right the heck out of this. Check out twitch.tv/hello, I'm JVB. I gotta close that window because bad things are about to happen. Oh, bad things already happened. You see that? That's not updating. Let's see if we can get this to work again. Split browser. No, that means that the streaming software didn't like me trying to stream a stream in the stream. I'm not going to turn on the standby screen. Let me just try and get this thing to be less, How about that one? Yay! Is that the right one? Yay! Look at that. Look, Ma, I know how to stream. We talk about security here. We talk about checking the chat. Where's the chat? Do I still have this in Do Not Disturb mode? No, I don't. Okay. We talk about security. Oh, I can use the excuse generator. Yeah, why did that just die? It died because all of the packets were empty. It's not my fault. So we talk about security, and Dan Pop, who's often, I don't know if he's actually in the chat, but he watches the stream every single day, and he and I, we're good friends now. Hi, Dan. Dan wrote an article on deploying Falco and Sysdig on K3s. It's simple. It's so simple. I did it the other night. It's so simple. There's zero reason not to just go and do this. So he goes through installing K3s, which if you haven't done that before, and then installing Falco, which is super easy. And then some information about what Falco is and how to get started with it. And then he closes down here with, so he's even got some, seeing it in action, simulating an attack, and then how you can install Sysdig on K3s as well. So if you're a Sysdig customer, great, get started with that. If you're not a Sysdig customer, go become a Sysdig customer because they have great products. And if you're not able to do that because you're just running this in a home environment, then Falco is also wonderful. And then strangely, Alex Ellis is also a friend of the show. And Alex, I think, is like psychic in the weirdest ways. Like not psychic like he can predict lottery, but psychic as in he just simultaneously releases content that's relevant to something else that somebody released. So literally on the same day that Dan wrote the article about Falco, he wrote an article about Falco and K3s on ARM. Wow. So here's another article that talks about eBPF and how Falco works. It's got some different images, and then a complete tutorial about how to get this up and running on, he's using a Raspberry Pi as an example, but this will work on any other ARM architecture. So same thing, installing K3s with Ketchup. And Nuno just said that Alex's blogs are really nice and timely. Follow him, like pay attention to everything he does. He's really humble, and he releases really, really useful information in addition to releasing really, really great software. OpenFaaS, inlets, Ketchup, good dude. So here we go, K3s and Falco on ARM. So if you saw my thing a moment ago and you're like, oh, I'd love to run Falco, but I'm running on a Raspberry Pi, now you have less than no excuses. And from Alex, I actually posted this in the chat the other day. I saw this and I was like, oh, what the heck is that? This is from Bitscope. And that particular thing that you were just looking at is a Bitscope cluster blade into which you can plug 4 Raspberry Pi 4s. We had the Turing Pi on the other day, and they take 7 compute modules, which are currently only available for Raspberry Pi 3B or 3B Plus or whatever, not 4. 3 is not 4. I can figure that much out. I can't figure out the rest of the stuff. And I was sad because I'm like, well, I don't really need, 7 times 4? 12? No. 28 cores and 7 gigabytes of RAM. I'm not going to be able to do anything with that. But this, okay, so Raspberry Pi 4, I can get that with 8 gigs of RAM. So I can have 4 times 4 is 12 again, right? 16 cores and 32 gigabytes of RAM. That's better than what I'm getting off the Protectly boxes that I'm using right now. The Protectly boxes have, the big ones have 4 cores and 32 gigabytes of RAM because I stepped them up. But then, why stop there? Let's put 20 of them together. No. Let's put 40 of them together. Is that link gonna work? Okay, 160 cores and 320 gigabytes of RAM. The chassis itself is $1,000. That includes all of the things. So then you just need the Raspberry Pis. Come on. Not gonna be quiet, but come on. It's gotta be done. We had some really cool announcements from Hashicorp yesterday. Oh, are we at 40? Let me put my Twitch window back up. Oh, very exciting. Really? 40? I only see 28. How do you see 40? Are we sure it's coffee in the cup this morning? It's coffee in the cup. Yeah. Wait a minute, that's confusing. No, we were talking about 40. We were talking about 40 Raspberry Pis, WifeBot, not 40 users. I only see 28 viewers in Twitch right now. Okay, we got excited, but 28, come on. We only need 12. No. It's like an Iron Man when she's like, what's your social security number? And he's like, 5? Oh, 29 users. No, I see 28 viewers. I'm actually looking at the Twitch panel. But you know what? I'm going to delegate this to, so yeah, so okay, y'all got it. I'm just going to keep talking. We had some cool announcements from Hashicorp yesterday. The first one is Hashicorp Waypoint. Waypoint is, I'm putting it on because I love everything that Hashicorp does, and I'm willing to accept that maybe I don't yet see the value of this. I looked at it and I was like, okay, but let's talk about it. The idea is that developers just want to build code, so let's just give them tools to build code and not have to worry about things. The problem with that is what you've given them is an entirely new language and system that they have to learn, and they still have to learn about the Kubernetes part on the back end of it. So it doesn't really do a good job of freeing them from anything, and based solely upon that, I'm not convinced that it's going to be adopted. The idea is that you can just say waypoint up, and with some configs, understanding, these are the same people that gave us Vagrant, so Vagrant up, whatever. Waypoint up, and with some configs, you can build things, you can deploy things, and you can release things. And they show examples of this happening. Is it here? Yeah, all right, so build, deploy, and release. So use Docker, registry, use Docker, images, blah, 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 tag, get ref, pretty. I'm gonna have to learn a bunch of stuff, and I'm probably not gonna do that. Deploy, use Kubernetes. Okay, release, use Kubernetes, great. Because it's designed to be modular, the idea is that everybody uses this and they just say waypoint up, and I can ship code, the config files that decide what that means. Anyway, it came out yesterday. Clearly they released it, so they believe it's valuable. Take a look at it. Tell me if it sucks. But this does not suck. They released this yesterday, or at least they announced it yesterday, or it came to my attention yesterday. This is a open source utility for secure access to hosts and services without like SSH and key management and all sorts of stuff. So you now can plug into a backend identity provider for authentication, and then authorization, what you're allowed to talk to, and then it will inject credentials into the backend host or service with dynamic secrets that can have expirations and so on. So you don't need to keep keys, you don't need to use Ansible and put keys all over the place. You just hook your stuff up to this, and then you interface with the authorization and the authentication piece of, what's this thing called? Boundary, to control who and what. And that's it. And then after some period of time, they log out of the system and they get yanked, and they're nobody is able to access it except this control plane. And probably you should have an admin user as a backdoor just in case this thing, collapses. Yeah, so Boundary. I'm really excited about this. I'm kind of cleaning house this week a little bit. I went through the backlog of stuff, and I've had some things in there for a little while. And yeah, Mosa's Boundary looks amazing. Boundary looks amazing. This guy, Jose, put together a list of cloud native incubating and graduated projects with a little summary of each of them. Well, actually, when he did it 2 nights ago, it was with a little summary of each of them, but now it looks like it's actually collecting tweets from them, which makes it a little bit less interesting. But regardless, if you just want to, I guess, follow what's going on with all of these projects, or if you want to quickly distill that massive, it's so massive I can't even fit it on the screen, distill that massive CNCF landscape thing down into just stuff that's actually incubating and graduated, so not even sandbox projects, then he's got this list of stuff. So we've got, Linkerd. Hi, Linkerd. We have guys from Linkerd who watch the show too. TickV, Synadia. This could be another rabbit hole of just, go and look what's there and be like, oh, what does this do? Hey, Waypoint. Okay, whatever. and some more. So we'll put this up as well. I had, what was it called? I don't remember the name of it now, but I have it on my phone. I have it on my iPad too. My phone's over there. Okay. We had a Kubernetes management utility for iOS on the show. And I forget its name now because I haven't used it again since I looked at it and put it on the show. It was on 10.7. Kuber, iOS app for managing Kubernetes. It cost money. Well, here's another one called Kubenav, and it costs no money. I installed it on my iPad. Bam! iPad. How's that, huh? Because last time I was showing you guys my phone and y'all were making fun of me. Not willing to be made fun of twice in, well, okay, so maybe I am. I plug this into my DigitalOcean server, and yeah, it does kind of what you just expect it to do. You've got namespaces up here on the top right. I'll hold this up so it doesn't look, so you're not looking at the top of my head there. So you got namespaces up on the top right. You can select stuff. I selected my namespace here, and then you've got, you can select deployments. I don't think I have it. Yeah, I don't have any daemon sets or anything out there. It's pretty fast. I think Kuber was a little bit snappier. And then we've got the status. I have a lot of things that are scaled down to 0, so they show up as yellow over there. But if we were to pick something like, the CNCF website, you can come in, you can look at its config, you can look at, all of the stuff around it. There's nothing particularly magical here. So now I'm drilled down into a pod, and now I can drill down into a container, and then, and then from here you can do things like, you can get logs, you can shell into it, so we can shell into the container. And it asks, how do you want to shell? That's a little weird. I guess if it was a Windows container, it would have PowerShell, or you can tell it to run a command. That's neat. Bash, fail. Yeah, that's because it's an Alpine container. One thing that it does that's pretty cool is if I say, show me the last 1,000 log lines. So you see it pops up this little thing. And then if I also say, give me a shell, SH isn't going to work either. Oh, okay. Ash is linked to SH. Notice that it becomes tabbed. So I can actually tab back and forth between the logs and the shell. And that's pretty cool. I imagine you can have this open for multiple things and have it tell you stuff. And then we can close it all and so on. So yeah, you've got all kinds of things that you can look at. Config maps, PBs, PVCs, pod disruption budgets, secrets, blah, 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 storage classes, CRDs. That's pretty neat. So this is Kubenav, and it's for iOS. I don't know if it's for anything else because I don't use anything else. I am like so totally an Apple person. One drop. Talk to you after the show. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Ta-da! Okay, how we doing? 30. We may not make it. This might be the first giveaway Friday where we don't have a giveaway. That will make me sad. Cluster cloner. That's 855. Okay, we're gonna do this. Actually, you know what? We're not gonna do this. We're gonna skip this and we're gonna go to faasd. Also from Alex Ellis. Alex saw on the show the other day that I was talking about fission and I was talking about cold starting serverless functions and how fission was faster than OpenFaaS just because they're architected differently. And he reached out and he said, hey, have you seen faasd? And I said, hey, no, I haven't. Well, he had a video about it. It's like 10 minutes long. I'll have this as a link. And, well, yeah, there's nothing else here. Faasd is a standalone binary that includes containerd and all of the OpenFaaS functions. And because it doesn't have any of the Kubernetes logistics about starting pods or even creating them or starting ones that are stopped, he says, I haven't tested it yet, but he says it's able to do cold starts at 0.2 seconds, less than 0.19 seconds, which is really fast, faster than fission. because it's so tiny and lightweight and is just a single binary, and then it includes all the OpenFaaS stuff, and you can interface with it the same way you do with OpenFaaS when running inside of Kubernetes, you can literally run it anywhere. He shows it running on a Raspberry Pi, and he actually shows what production level stuff he has running off of it. It's a Pi. He's like, yeah, it's like over there in the corner of my room. I don't even think about it, and it doesn't cost me anything compared to all of this stuff that you need if you're going to do anything with Kubernetes. Let's see if I can just get to where he has that list. So it's like, oh yeah, just put it on Kubernetes. And he correctly points out that just put it on Kubernetes, all you need is Kubernetes. Well, that you need 3 to 4 VMs. Oh my gosh, it's playing. I didn't mean for it to play. I'm gonna crash the browser again. 3 to 4 VMs, Kubernetes, network driver, CNI, ingress, load balancer, cert manager, Helm, Flux, CI/CD, Docker, Prometheus, Grafana, and then you need OpenFaaS or Knative, your code, and a team of people to manage it. Whereas faasd, you don't need any of that stuff, and it's blazing fast. I don't know that, because I'm trying to put everything in Kubernetes because I have the infrastructure. I don't know that I'll use faasd, but if I wanted to, I could put it literally anywhere. I could put it on, one of the Kubernetes nodes as just an external service. So yeah, there you go. How many pies does Alex own? Asks Shipwreck. I think a lot. Okay, it looks like we're not gonna make the giveaway today. We have 24 viewers now. Well, let's share the word. Let's get the word out there. I know that when I was live streaming on YouTube, people would get announcements of it, and maybe a lot of people haven't figured out yet that they can come over to Twitch, or they think that Twitch is just for gaming. So let's share with people and try and get us for a giveaway next week. Tool of the day. Is Kruise. I'm not gonna be able to talk about everything that's amazing about Kruise in the next 3 minutes. So I'll do it in the next however many minutes it takes. Kruise is a set of controllers which extend the functionality of Kubernetes with additional functionality and controllers. Clone set, advanced stateful set, sidecar set, united deployment, broadcast job, and advanced daemon set. And you're like, really? Do I need these things? You might. This is from the team at Alibaba. And when you read in their documentation what these things do, you realize that there's some pretty cool features here. So a clone set, for example, supports individual PVCs per pod. You never knew you needed that, right? But can you imagine a situation where each pod should have its own individual PVC? Yeah, great. Okay, clone set, we'll give you that. It's basically an enhanced deployment. So it has things like PVC per pod, selective pod deletion. So when you're scaling down, you can tell it which pods to delete. Well, I never realized that there was a solution for that, but that's legit. What if I don't want to kill the pod that's over there and I do want to kill the pod that's over here? You can control that as well. In-place update, a bunch of other stuff. Okay, so this is, clone set's actually pretty basic. Sidecar set allows you to do sidecar injection, kind of like how Istio does on things that are launched. But then you can individually manage sidecars separate from the thing that they're attached to. So you can upgrade, downgrade, control, interface with sidecars separately. Sounds useful too. Broadcast job. I run a daemon set for, well, at least I used to. I don't in the new cluster, but in the old cluster, which was Docker-based, I ran a daemon set that ran a janitor service that cleaned up old container images and stopped containers so that I wouldn't run out of disk space. That functionality for garbage collection is now baked into Kubernetes. Thank you. But this daemon set ran all of the time just so that it could run on every single node so that once a day it could kick off and do whatever it was supposed to do. Waste of resources. Well, a broadcast job fires up a job like a daemon set. So it creates a job, runs the job on all of the nodes, and then all of the jobs exit. Wow, that's also really cool. Everything that they have in here takes existing Kubernetes functionality, daemon set, job, sidecar stuff, deployments, stateful sets, and adds stuff on there that they're obviously using out at Alibaba that solve problems that I guarantee you've come across and just ignored because there was no solution for it. So this is Kruise as part of OpenKruise. And there's some pretty amazing stuff in there. Okay. Nuno says, when it comes from Alibaba, you know it's meant for massive scaling. Yes, massive things at scale. Ken says he has to watch Twitch on his phone or whatever device that he brings because it's blocked on the corporate network and devices. But YouTube isn't blocked? That's interesting. You know, if I have to go back to live streaming on YouTube, I will, and I'll still just nuke that and then repost the video afterwards. We'll see. So, that's right, pants. and based on his pants comment, Wojtek leveled up. So that's it for today. There were only a couple of things that I didn't talk about. I'll move those over to next week. We didn't get to do the giveaway. We'll try again next Friday. Thank you all of you, everybody, who came and joined us in the chat today and who watched the show live. And thank you to all of you who are watching it on YouTube later. I see that YouTube is doing a better job of sharing it now that I'm editing the video and posting it live. So that's working out. We're actually getting more people. But any of you who are watching this later, come watch it live because it's cool too. So if you liked what you saw today, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch, get notifications when I start streaming. Links to everything I talk about on the show go up in the free community site at community.cncn.io after the show ends. Just come join us. Community members get access to the links and the video replay a day before the rest of the internet. Membership is free, and it's growing every day. If you have something you would like for me to consider for the show, please hit me up and let me know. You can mention me in a post on the community site. You can ping me on Discord or Twitter, or really anywhere else. There's lots of ways to get a hold of me. It's Friday. Thank you for spending your Friday morning with me, or your afternoon, or your evening, or your whatever. Have a great day, everyone. Keep learning. Stay safe. Stay dangerous. Stay dangerous. And I'll see you in the next show.